Taking paid bills on the plane in charter. Just hanging there a couple of minutes. What we do is we wait for everybody to get here, and that's going to take about 10 minutes or so. So what you do is you go to about the 10-minute mark of the video. Go down to the description box while you're waiting, and you'll be able to see the topics that we are going to talk about. T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Follow me on Instagram at TST Controversy. As you can see, follow me on Twitter at T Street Live, and on Facebook, and of course, T Street Controversy. So, you know, once again, the topics of what we're going to talk about are right down below in the description box. I'm not going to start talking about things now at the beginning of the video because this is a live stream. If you're not watching it live, then the whole purpose is for everyone to get here, and there's a chat. You can't see the chat if you're not watching it live, but they ask questions, I answer them, and basically fast forward till about the 10-minute mark of the video or somewhere along that lines, and then we're going to start. So hang in there. I'm gonna put some non-copyrighted tunes on, and you may not like the music, but the music is not for you. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe. I've never said I'd fly away forever. If I died, we'd be together. I can't help what's just coming. But she will try. What's the end of the world? What's the last thing to say? We were hot, never should I the things that you never ever told me, and all the smiles that I never share the feeling that you never call up love, and I remember now. At the shop of my loves in my own, she tied. She's the end of the world, but I don't know the last thing I see. You are never coming home, should I all the things that you never ever told me, all the smiles that I never got, should I all the words that are ever gonna scar me, all the ones that are never gonna catch me. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm waiting for this video is live. I'll explain it briefly again. This video is live. So for the people who are not watching the video live, then we're waiting for people to get here. We're waiting for more viewers to get here because it's a live stream. So therefore, I wait until about the 10-minute mark or so of the video to start. Relax. It's fucking Saturday or Sunday. Relax. So Give it some time. Give it some time. I'll be back. Jesus Christ. I'll be back.
Thank you.
All right, what's going on, guys? As I was saying, give me about another, what time is it? Give me about another 5 minutes, maybe. And we're going to jump right into it. So go down to the description box, and then you'll see all the different topics we're going to talk about, and we're going to try our best to talk about those topics in that order. We're going to talk about Antonio Margarito's eye. We're going to talk about Margarito versus who he fought tonight, Ramon El Nutmeg Alvarez. We're going to talk about Canelo versus Margarito, Cotto versus Margarito 3, Mayweather Pacquiao, Mayweather McGregor, Billy Joe Saunders not fighting, probably vacating his title, all of it. So hang in there. Be right back. We've been waiting for an hour. No, you haven't, because I said that it was going to start at 2 a.m. Eastern time. So you haven't been waiting an hour. Maybe you have, but not by my count. Not by my count. I'll be back.
Long ago, since I hurt you,
by the way, the music's not for you. The music's for me. It's non-copyright, hopefully. And it's just to get me like in the mood. I'm sick of listening to trap music. I'll be back.
Just like the magic, strike you incinerate the life of everyone you know. It's the worst you do. Every heart, the blaze. I've been holding on tonight. What was it I could say? The things are better if I stay. So long and good night. So long and good night. Came the time when every stuff brought you to tears again. We are very unused, and what's the worst you take from every heart you raise? Like you say. Well, I've been holding on tonight. What's it I could say? Things we never must say. So long and good night. So long and good night. I'll be trying on this way. Things we never I stay so long and good night. so long and true. Can when those so long, yeah, good night. So long, yeah, good night. So long, yeah, good night. So long, yeah, good night.
I'm eating real quick because we're probably gonna be here all night. So relax. This is the last song, and then we're starting. Relax, relax, relax. For the people who are watching this video now, give me, you know, if it's not live, give me 5 more minutes. Not even that. Relax. Don't give me none of your shit.
It's all bad now. It's all bad. It's all fucked up now. Yeah! New shit! Hey yo! I just want the whole world to know that I did not start this. But I will finish it. Coming up, and no matter what color you are, if you could spit, then you could spit. That's it. That's what it was back when motherfuckers was straight back in ciphering, fighting for life in this rap for the mic to get past. And you cycling, you gas, and you hype, cause you last, and you might put some ass, and you lost, and you lost. Shake hands like a man, and you swallow it. When the unsigned hype column, and the source was like, the only source of life. When the mic used to mean something, the fool was like, you were the shit. That was like the least you get. 3.5 now, which means you a piece of shit. 4.5 or 5 inch be jigging odds of Benzino. See, I don't even think you realize you're playing some motherfucking lies. I don't watch Ray get fucked on the product. Probably cause I was on it. Never fucked me out of my mic twice. I let it slide. I said I wouldn't hold my fucking breath to get a 5. Shit, I was fried. I done fucking died already trying. I swear to God, I never lie. But that's why you let that bitch give me that bullshit review. I second took it. I didn't look at the shit. We knew you probably try to fuck us like Obi in 52. Right? Fuck a relationship we threw. No more towards the street, cracking names is dead. Ray got AKs today, made his head. Every piece who lives in 8 days made men's bread. Will somebody please tell me whoever raised his head that I'm not afraid of this fucking wasted lead on my pencil. For me to write some shit this simple, so listen closely, cause I break it down and proceed. This OG, about to get slow, break raw weed. You don't know me, you my motherfucking mother, you motherfucking punk. Putting on your fucking cover just to sell your little sellout man. Hey man, I feel bad, isn't that? It's supposed to rain is dead. You wanna talk about some shit that you don't know about? Yeah, let's talk about how you putting your own son out there to try to eat on men. You missed your boat, you're never gonna blow. Bitch, you just too old, you're only sore now. No more you're bored now. I'm pushing 30, you're making 40s, no now. Bitches is poor now, and you never beat me. All you do is cheat me. I corner was let you know that you only see me on your TV. Sometimes stay up to 3 in the morning to see a video break one from BET. So, who has the last laugh? Ask them that, yes, who will be half of the whole stat? Kiss our asshole crack, who never fold the whole back. Just know that, cause he knows back. No matter how many times I say that, you never know Jack. You're better off trying to bring our soul back. Look at your track record, that the bar goes back to distortion and round the portion. So half of the staff who cares, fresh out of jail from Boston, movie in Boston, gave like a slave, that completely brainwashed and enforced him to stay locked in his own office, afraid of the softest. Vegas. Wanna be gangster in New York and it's pitiful. Cause I would've never said shit if you would get the mouth shut. Bitch, now what? Hit a cruise fist like music. Exclusive, your man and your who. You know what you do with the shoes that I do. This is stupid. I can't believe I stood to this bullshit you do this. Who you calling a bitch? Bitch. You owe me.
All right, we are ready. We are ready. Let me see. What was I doing? What was I doing? There. Yeah, it's fucked up. Ah, it's fucked up. Yeah. Move over some. Just the camera. All right, guys. Welcome. What time is it? It is 2:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. I'm back. I'm official. I'm back. I'm back. We are doing Google Hangouts every major fight on the late night. And chill, go get some medicinals, you know, go get some alcohol, you know, go get some Tecate, some trepas, or tripas, what do you call it? The fried intestine tacos. I want to try some of that. I hear that's what the real niggas eat. Excuse my language. The real Mexican niggas eat. Excuse my language. But and just chill, you know, don't fuck up my vibe, you know. Side piece is going good. Side piece is going good. Don't fuck up my vibe, and let's just talk about some boxing. A fight like this that is not in English, if you don't speak English, Antonio Margarito versus Ramon Alvarez is a good fight because of the storyline behind it. I said a long time ago that a lot of times the storyline behind fights make the fights interesting to watch. It's almost like, you know, wrestling in a bit, like in a way. If you know the storylines, you know, it can make the most boringest, fucked up fight, you know, important to watch. I feel like the video is lagging a little bit. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to probably go plug in my Ethernet cable. But anyway, Antonio Margarito is a fan-friendly fighter. This is his second fight this year. His first fight this year was against Jorge Paz Jr., son of the great Jorge Paz. Also, remember, Jorge Paz Jr. fought Jose Benavidez, in which a friend of mine, former colleague, Jason Gonzalez covered. Antonio Margarito's last fight before fighting this year in 2016 was in 2011. It was that September or December of 2011 when he fought Miguel Cotto in the rematch. You need to go back to watch the HBO face-off with Max Kellerman, Cotto versus Margarito 2. You know, because, you know, Cotto was pissed, you know, and he was like, I was looking at the costs, and costs don't rip like that. You know, and Margarito with his sunglasses. Let me tell you what Margarito did. Let me tell you what he did. Now, you know, I feel, my personal opinion, let me put this disclaimer out there before I say it. I like to cover boxing my own way. I like to cover boxing, you know, I do my videos, you know, to be myself. And I've heard many times in my life that I'm a very entertaining individual. So therefore, I bring my same personality to covering fights. So what I do is with you guys, or when I record a video, you know, whether it's a live stream or if it's me in front of the camera, I talk as if I'm talking to a homie. You know, so I put that disclaimer out there. All right. Now, Antonio Margarito is fucked up. You know, it's fucked up. You know, it's fucked up. You know, it don't blink like other eyes. Did I freeze? Did I freeze? Am I lagging? Can somebody tell me if I'm lagging or not? I feel like I'm lagging. But yo, his eye's fucked up. And he cheated. You know? So what I do is, you know, I really don't have no respect for him. And that's why I'm always clowning his eye. It's a dead eye. You know, it's a dead eye. So when I talk about, you know, his eye, and I post photos of his eye and shit like that, it's because he had plaster, you know, like basically bricks in his hands. You know what plaster is? Plaster is that, you know, that it's liquid cement. You know, it's a liquid form, a thick liquid form of cement. And then once it dries, you know, so it's not known. You know, only the Lord will know, you know, how long he's been loading plaster in his gloves. Now remember, Antonio Margarito beat a very, very, very young Sergio Martinez. Remember that. You know, remember when he did the, you know, he beat Joshua Clottey. You know, when he did the Miguel Cotto, Kermit Citron. You know, he may have been the one that destroyed Kermit Citron's career. You know, you see what I'm saying? So we don't know how long. We don't know how long he had that shit going on. So when I clown him because, you know, that eye's fucked up. You know, look at it. It don't blink with the other one. This one has like full motion. That will just be just straight dead eye at you. So what he does is, let me tell you what he does. If it's a press conference or a weigh-in, you know how they have the press conference and then they'll say, you know, okay, the fighters are going to face off. And then the fighters going to face off and shit. He takes his glasses off. And can you imagine that sight? Can you imagine the face off when you looking at that shit? Like, imagine you looking at Margarito with a face off, you know, and you looking at that shit. I would start cracking the fuck up, man. I would start cracking the fuck up. So what he does is, if it's a face off, he'll take his sunglasses off and, you know, and look at you, try to fuck with your head. But then if he's got to turn to the cameras and do the pose and shit, he put those shits on quicker than a motherfucker, yo. I'm dead ass serious. He put those glasses quicker. You know, if it's interviews, he's always got glasses on. It's very rare that you catch him without his glasses. It's very rare that you catch him without his shades, you know. It's very rare. But in the ring, you know, I'm looking at, like, you know, that, you know, I know, you know, he shouldn't have sinned. He sinned. And even though Manny was sinning at that time, you know, he was sinner Pacquiao, he was sinning, you know, but that was, you know, that was the Lord's way of putting, you know, Antonio Margarito in his place for cheating. He sinned. You know, that was a boxing sin. And you know, Manny fixed it. Manny fixed it. But the fight was very close. Up until, I would say, about the 8th round or so. Ramon Alvarez was controlling the fight, in my opinion, for the first half of the fight. I would say first rounds, in my opinion, were 4-2 for Alvarez. What you saw was that the speed and his reaction times, his speed, his reflexes, and his activity, those three things was giving Antonio Margarito some problems. And in his last fight, meaning Antonio Margarito, he didn't look too good against Jorge Paz. He even went down. But it seems as though after the 6th round, El Nutmeg started to fade. He started to slow down, you know, and his defense got you know, like real suspect. I believe it was in the 8th round when he got knocked down, you know, and it was somewhat of a flash knockdown, but it's because he tried to throw a counter punch from this weird, awkward ass angle, you know. So I'm lagging a bit. Yeah, I kind of feel it. Let me see if I can do something about this. Ethernet cable. I'm wearing headphones because something happened with something's going on with my microphone. And I ordered a microphone and two sets of high quality earphones. But you know, something's going on. So basically, if I use the computer mic or if I use the mic from the webcam, it's you know, the sound is really low and choppy. But man, you made me forget what my motherfucking point was. What was my point? I'm trying to make a point. Oh, Alvarez slowed down later on in the fight, and he didn't. Antonio Margarito had no respect for Ramon El Nutmeg's power. He had no respect for it. You can tell because he started just walking through it, and he started throwing more and more punches. Now, Antonio Margarito is not a guy that's fleet of foot. He's not a guy that's going to dance around you and try to box you and jab you and move. He's the guy that's going to keep coming straight forward. He's going to keep coming forward, and he's going to try to lay major hands on you and probably knock you the fuck out. So, you know, it's interesting, you know, to see, you know, what may happen going forward in the future, especially if Canelo beats Liam Smith September the 17th, 2016 on Box Nation and on HBO pay-per-view. Because I feel that Canelo, if he fights Antonio Margarito, if he beats Liam Smith, of course, we're going to talk about that later on in the video. If he fights Antonio Margarito in December, you know, they could do that fight maybe in Mexico. And right now, at this point in time in Canelo's career, it's time for him to go back to Mexico and have a fight, you know, if you get what I'm saying. It's about that time for him to go down there. And fighting Antonio Margarito down there would be a big fight. Also, they would be able to put it on pay-per-view. And for people who hate Antonio Margarito, hopefully Canelo Alvarez will smash his fucking eyeball out. Well, maybe he'll knock his dead eye out, you know? Maybe that eye's glass. Maybe it's glass, you know? Maybe it's glass. This nigga asked me what moisturizer do I use. What's wrong with you dudes, man? What moisturizer do I use? Type of shit. But, yeah, you know, I'm going to fix the lag in a minute. I'm going to go on a bit of a small break, and I'm going to fix the lag in a minute. I got to plug in. You know, it's been like kind of weird. I think somebody's stealing my internet. It's not the internet. I have the best possible internet you can have outside of business class for Xfinity, Comcast. But, you know, I think somebody's probably stealing my shit. Give me 1 minute. But also, there's a good chance, well, not a good chance, there's a chance that we may see Cotto versus Margarito 3. Remember, it's 1-1. You know, either if you, even if he did or did not cheat for the first fight, still, Antonio Margarito has that win over Miguel Cotto. So a third fight would be, you know, a rubber match. Also, Miguel Cotto needs a big fight because he's guaranteed $15 million, and he has to fight on HBO pay-per-view to get that $15 million. He's not getting paid to be on regular HBO and get $15 million. And Antonio Margarito would be a name for Miguel Cotto to fight for that $15 million. You get me? You know, even though Miguel Cotto may have said that, you know, he doesn't want to give Antonio Margarito another payday and all that, but truth be told, it's not really up to him. You know, it's not really up to him. If you follow me, so I feel that he's in line for a big fight. Ramon Alvarez was ranked number 11 by the WBO for this month of August at 154 pounds. So you can expect, since Antonio Margarito beat him, that for the rankings for September, he'll be ranked at number 11 where Ramon Alvarez was, or even higher. So therefore, if Canelo beats Liam Smith and he does decide to fight Antonio Margarito, then Margarito will be ranked, and it can be for that 154-pound title. And also the other storyline is going to be, you know, I want to defeat you because you beat my brother. You know, I want to defeat you because you beat my brother. So, you know, there's so many different, you know, storylines that are out there for Antonio Margarito, you know, and the fact that he's ranked now, you know, and the fact that he's ranked now is even a bigger issue, because he can fight for a title at 154, you know. But what if Heyman wants to put one of his fighters? That'd be interesting to see what if Heyman would want to put one of his fighters in against Antonio Margarito. Also, you notice about Antonio Margarito is that he sells. You know, he sells. You know, whether you like him or not. That was you know, it was a nice Mexican crowd, you know, in there for Antonio Margarito for this fight and the Jorge Paz Jr. fight. They know who he is. You know, people know who Antonio Margarito is. But I'm going to take a brief break. I'm going to get me some tuna and seafood salad that I have in the refrigerator. And I'm going to eat it right here live on cam and talk some boxing. I don't know why I don't eat before these things, but for some reason I get to talk and everything makes me hungry. So I'm gonna put on some old school Philly tunes. I'm gonna put on some old school Philly tunes, and I'll be right back. Hell yeah! Guess I'll go scroll through articles we'll take. No, actually, I'm eating. So you gotta chill, relax. 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 Eat my salad. We're gonna have a nice long, chat for those who want to stay up. Yeah, I made tuna, macaroni, and I put some crab meat up in there. So. Yeah, I've been eating seafood all day. All right. I'm back. Now, we don't have a strong Mexican population in Philly, but I did look up. I did look up some places around here. Well, in the Philadelphia area, where I can get some good tripas. Like, can somebody like put the correct pronunciation? Is it tripas? Tripas? You know, the tacos with the you know, in fried intestines and cilantro. I'm not even joking. I actually want that shit, and I'm going to get some probably. I may go get it tomorrow. We'll get some tomorrow. Okay, so we're back. We were talking about how fucked up Antonio Margarito EYE is, and that I wouldn't normally joke about boxers like that, but since it was never really proven that he cheated, but I believe he did cheat. You know, he got caught. He got caught. He got caught. So it's like, how many other people, how many other fighters did he use plaster on? You get me? You know? And at that point in time, he was known as being a avoided fighter. He was known as a fighter that Floyd Mayweather was avoiding, and it's like he was cheating. You know, I'm not saying they knew that, but you know how dangerous was he without the plaster? He hasn't had a knockout since. You know, he hasn't had a knockout since. In fact, has he had a knockdown since? You know, think about it. Think about it. But you know, he might get it. You know, he might get the Canelo fight. You know, especially if Billy Joe Saunders falls through, he might get the Miguel Cotto, you know, 3. And I know Miguel Cotto said that he wouldn't give him another payday, and that's the talk that's going around him, that Miguel Cotto wouldn't dare give him another payday. But you know, he might get he's going to get a big fight. He's going to get a big fight whether you like it or not. And also, when it comes to the WBO rankings are pretty, you know, like bullshit. You know, the WBO rankings are pretty bullshit, especially at 154 pounds. So, no, Billy Joe Saunders did not drop his title. George, he didn't drop his fight. He didn't drop his title. His word is going around that, you know, he could drop his title because maybe behind the scenes, the WBO is probably like, look, you know, like me, Frank Warren, and Bob Arum, we all cool. But Billy Joe, you got to fight somebody, man. You know, in this day and age of social media, you can't get away with shit like that. You can't get away with shit like that without fans asking, like, yo, dog, where's your mandatory at? You know, you ain't fight him. You ain't fight him. You ain't fight him. You ain't fight him. So you're not gonna fight a mandatory, you know? Billy Joe Saunders has had that belt. When did he fight Andy Lee? Last year, December, right? Wasn't it in December of 2015? We're in August, you know? He was supposed to fight a voluntary against Max Bursack, and I remember covering the Max Bursack versus Martin Murray fight, I believe it was. And I was like, he shouldn't be fighting, you know, this guy. Also, you know, he said the fight didn't go through because he hurt his hand beating his dick. You know, so it's like, damn, slow down, bro. Like, come on, I know you, come on. You know, slow down, bro. But, you know, will he drop his title? You know, that'd be fucked up. You know, I don't think Billy Joe's career can handle that, man. You know, like, especially like him being of traveler descent, can't drop his title. You know, are they going to be cool with that in his community? Are they going to be cool with that in his community? So, you know, that's a true story. He said he fucking hurt his hand beating his dick. That's what he said. You know? That's a true story. So I'm thinking like, man, like you that ravenous with it? you that ravenous with it? You use no lube, bruh? You using the dry ass hand, you know? Did you catch Billy Joe Saunders, Dan Rayfield beef on Twitter? You know, everybody got beef with Dan Rayfield, and if they did have beef, I believe it was like a few months ago when they were going at it. You know, well, and Billy Joe Saunders, he not no, you know, Billy Joe Saunders is not no, you know, he will slice you. You know, he not gonna just let you talk no shit. You know, he will come back at you like hard. You know, even though he can't really spell for shit. You know, and you know what I mean. If you follow Billy Joe Saunders, he can't really spell to save his fucking life, but he will come at you. You know, he will come right at you hard. So, you know, but the thing is, I did a video the other day talking about like who is doing this to Billy Joe's career. You know, he was in heavy talks and negotiations to fight Gabriel Rosado, and that fight fell through. He was going to be on the Canelo versus Smith card, the biggest card of his career in life, and be the co-feature. And if he would have won, then the talks was that he was going to fight Canelo in the future. But I'm thinking, well, you know, now is he not going to fight until December? And if he fights, you know, in a fight that's, you know, maybe next month or within maybe next month, it's got to be September if he's going to fight in December. You know, maybe he'll fight some bullshit name in the top 15 of the WBO, you know, just to say, you know, he fought somebody they were ranked. Chris Eubank Jr. fucked that fight up, you know. And now Chris Eubank Sr. has popped up out of nowhere. Remember, he disappeared, you know, for like a month, you know. And now since he saw that Billy Joe Saunders IFL interview, he like, oh yeah, he's scared of my son. He's gonna drop his title and all that shit. You know, we're not talking about what we're following. Listen, if you want to know what we're talking about, go down and read the description box. We're talking about things in order. All right. All right. We're talking about things in order. But you got Chris Eubanks Sr. now saying, oh yeah, he's scared of my son. You know, he's going to drop the belt. You know, but that's a whole, you know, different, you know, scenario. We don't want to really go too far with that. But I'm wondering, like, who is telling Billy Joe what? And he is good. I've been covering a guy for a good 6 years now, for the most part. And it's crazy. Almost 5 years. A good 5 years, because I started in November of 2010. So actually 4 years. 2012, I believe, is when I started covering. But, you know, the point I'm trying to make is he's a good fighter. You know, good amateur background, good ring IQ, good skills. So far, we've seen he has a good chin. But either he doesn't believe in himself or somebody doesn't believe in him. And it's clear right now that they're trying to get him the biggest paydays, you know, as possible. You know, and when I say they, I might as well say names, Frank Warren. You know, but I'm just wondering, you know, why can't he get on these cards? You know, there was talks of him versus Curtis Stevens, talks of him versus Lemieux. You know, talks of him versus Golovkin, talks of him versus Eubank Jr. No matter how or whatever or whatever reasons these fights fell apart, these were the names he was in talks to fight. All big names, Danny Jacobs. You know, and it's like, what the fuck is happening? It's September. You don't got to fight yet. You know? You don't got to fight yet. And And I said in an earlier video that a year ago, Billy Joe Saunders was not known over here in the United States. People just started covering Billy Joe Saunders over here in the United States. And I'm talking about YouTube media. Just started covering him over here in the United States. And they're covering him now is because he's got a bad reputation. You know, he wasn't known over here last year, but now he's known over here in a bad way as being a guy who, you know, he's just a WBO champion holding on to the belt. You know, that's bad. It's bad. That's not good for business. It's not good for business. So basically, you know, he's got to pull a rabbit out of his ass, and he's got to have a big fight. He's got to have a big fight. Now, in a way, I can understand why he didn't fight Golovkin. You know, he wouldn't have made big money. They were saying, you know, it was first said to be $4 million, and I thought to myself, when I first heard that he was going to get $4 million, I said, well, wait a minute, is that going to be on pay-per-view? Because that can't be on regular HBO. Because if he's getting $4 million, then how much is Golovkin going to get? You get me? So it would have had to been Golovkin versus Saunders on pay-per-view in America, and it would have flopped, right? Unless he went over there, meaning Golovkin, and fought him over there in a stadium, and Box Nation worked out whatever pay-per-view, you know, scenario, you know, that they may have going on. So I can understand why he didn't take that fight, you know, because he didn't. The money wasn't right, but he should have taken the fight. But the money wasn't right for him. But with Canelo, the money will be right, and he maybe feel he has a better chance to outbox Canelo. You see what I'm saying? You know, the money's definitely going to be right if he fights Canelo, depending on where he fights him at. He'll definitely get more money for fighting him. But it's just like, you know, where's he at right now? You know, where's he at? You know, what is he doing? What is he doing in his career, man? What is he doing? You know, who is in his ear telling him, you know, don't do this? And is it Frank Warren saying, you know, no, is it old fish eyes? No disrespect. No disrespect. And I'm just saying what Tony Bellew said. Is it old fish eyes saying, you know, don't take this fight? You know, hold on, and we're going to try to get this. You know, hold on, we're going to try to get this. But with the WBO, just like the IBF, okay, here's the most strictest organizations, in my opinion, that will strip you, you know, if you don't fight your mandatories or fulfill your obligations. Number one, the IBF will strip the shit out of you, no matter who you are. The IBF will strip the shit out of you, and that's one of the reasons why certain champions or former champions have stayed away from their title, is because they don't fuck around. You know, the WBO is number two. Well, known to strip you. Now, unless you're a Bob Arum fighter or a what we've seen recently, a Frank Warren fighter, then they'll work with your fighter. But you know, from my understanding, they'll come to you and say, like, yo, listen, you're putting us in a tough spot. You know, we'll fuck over this mandatory, you know, and, you know, have him go fight for some intercontinental bullshit or some old shit like that. But it's like, you know, we'll still ride with you, but we're going to have to probably strip you. The WBC is moving up the rankings because they're working very, very hard as of late. You know, Mauricio Suleiman, the president, he's been doing a good job in enforcing the rules of the WBC as far as mandatories and as far as you know, the drug testing. And if you don't fight your mandatory, stripping you, you know, and he gave Canelo, you know, many opportunities, you know, and what happened when Canelo dropped his title, because basically the WBC, from my understanding, went to go to boy Canelo and said, listen, we can't do nothing else, man. Like, we've been letting you, you know, bullshit around, but, you know, then we got Cotto dropping the belt, and, you know, Canelo won't fight Golovkin. It's like he's gonna have to either give the belt up or we gotta strip it. Now the WBA is all fucked up. They're number 4. You know, it seems as though they're trying. It seems as though they're trying, but, you know, they're all fucked up. They're all fucked up. The WBC did not strip Chavez. That's where the WBC interim came from. You know, that Golovkin won. That's where that interim basically title pretty much came from. Pretty much, it was born from that Sergio Martinez situation. So it's just that right now Billy Joe is in a situation where it's like he's got to tell the WBC, because December will be a year, you know, and he hasn't fought a voluntary. So you got to think, since he hasn't fought a voluntary, it's like you missed that payday too. You missed that payday, you know. So now you got to fight somebody where you can make some good money. You know, you got to fight somebody where you can make some good money. I think you might lose, you know, because I believe that he could maybe have got, you know, 500 US, 500,000 US, or maybe $1 million. I don't really know how Frank Warren pays his fighters. Hold on. Anyhow, is the ring title or belt something like that? Wait, let me read that. I don't get Kovalev Diamond WBC or Stevenson's WBC Gold. The WBC Diamond was created to be the #1 contender belt for Adonis Stevenson. Every now and then they'll make up a belt pretty much, and that was a special case scenario because they were really trying their best to make Kovalev versus Stevenson, and what they did was they did something different or unprecedented at the time that really doesn't get enough credit, where they made a three-section body champion the mandatory for the WBC. Now, when you're a champion, whether it's the WBC, WBA, IBF, or WBO, you're not mandated to fight anybody. But the WBC made Kovalev the mandatory, and said, well, listen, he's got those 3 other belts. Even though we don't have to, we want this fight so bad, we'll make him the mandatory. And, Kovalev in main events money wasn't long enough for the purse bid. Wasn't long enough for the purse bid, So it's a complex situation. It's a complex situation. It's a complex situation. But yeah, let me see. Let me read some of these questions. Listen, I'm not talking about all these belts. Motherfuckers talking about what's the Latino belt, what's the Intercontinental. I'm not talking about all these belts. I'm researching, but goddamn, go look that shit up yourself. Show me your phone. Look that shit up on your phone. So, let's see. What was the next topic in the? We talked about Billy Joe Saunders not fighting Gabriel Rosado. We talked about Antonio Margarito versus either Canelo Alvarez or Miguel Cotto. Now we got to talk about Golovkin versus Brook, then Mayweather versus Pacquiao. We're going to switch that up. We're going to talk about Golovkin versus Brook, Pacquiao versus Vargas, then Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Next week's fight, Spence versus Bundu, Garcia versus Berto, and Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz, probably, or Diaz versus McGregor too, probably at the end. Okay, so let me talk about the bullshit that's been going on. I have been hearing that, or reading, I guess, that people are saying that Kell Brook didn't really weigh 176 pounds. That is this hoax. It's this elaborate hoax to make people think like, oh well, he's not really, small. They just want him to so they could sell a fight. People just be coming up with all kind of shit. And I'm thinking, do you know how difficult it would be to come up with this type of shit? So he stepped on the scales. The 30-day weigh-in for the WBC was 176 pounds. Golovkin 165 pounds. It has been known. It has been known. In boxing circles, if people do their goddamn research, that Kell Brook is a big dude, and that's the way it's always been put to me. Like, yo, he's a big guy, like people. When I've talked to people in the past, that have been to a Kell Brook, media workout or weigh-in or met him at a fight, they say shit like he's a tank. I've been hearing this for a few years now. Carlson Jones, I keep bringing it up. He's a friend of mine over on Facebook. He fought him twice. He said in the second fight, he just was so huge, and I watched the fight, I watched both of them and uploaded some clips this past week on my social media. You know, Kell Brook is a huge dude, man. You know, he's a guy that's had to cut major weight to get down to 147 pounds. It has been heavily rumored that he wasn't even injured when he was supposed to fight Diego Chavez. It's just that he was having issues getting down to that weight, and will only get down to that weight again for the right fight and the right money. The Jesse Vargas situation didn't work out. You know, the Jesse Vargas situation didn't work out because Jesse Vargas was likely going to get more money than Kell Brook, or may have got more money than Kell Brook for the fight. So, you know, people coming up with these conspiracies saying, you know, it's just HBO. I mean, people be saying bullshit these days, man. It's HBO and the Sky Sports. They fixed the scales, so you know they can say he's really not a small fighter. Where's this shit come from, man? Where's this shit come from, man? Where's this shit come from? Where's this shit come from? But when he fought Carson Jones in the first fight, he pretty much gassed out later on in the fight, and Carson Jones was outworking him. Many were saying, you know, okay, I heard after the fight, the first Carson Jones fight, that Kell Brook was contemplating moving up to 154 pounds then. But then for the rematch with Carson Jones, what did he do? It was a much more comfortable weight for him. Why? Because it was over the 147-pound limit. The catch weight was 152 pounds, and he clearly beat Carson Jones. And in my opinion, the stoppage was a bit premature, you know, but the UK is somewhat, you know, known for that a bit. You know, known for that a bit. So I look at it like this. Kell Brook is not he's not a bad fighter. And punch output, which is the reason why I feel he's going to lose to Golovkin. I feel that Kell Brook may be using the size or putting on the weight to maybe potentially try to beat Kovalev on the inside, smother his punches, and beat him on a clinch. Kell Brook is very good on the inside from what we've seen so far. But we haven't seen a fighter fight Kell Brook. I mean, fight Golovkin on the inside, you know, have him in a clinch, tie him up, things like that. This is almost similar to the way I feel Andre Ward has a slim chance to beat, not a slim, it's a 50-50 fight in my opinion, but the way I feel Andre Ward can beat Kovalev is to fight him on the inside. You know, but will Kell Brook be able to do it? Kell Brook, I don't think Kell Brook can't hang in the middle of the ring and throw hands with Golovkin. He don't want to take those, he don't want to take that power. He don't want to take that power. You don't take that power. So, you know, it's so many different factors that play in. But smart money, of course, is going to go with Golovkin. It was pointed out to me the Voyaslav Sinchenko fight, round 4 or 8. I don't remember. Round 4. Was it round 4? Yeah, because he stopped him in the same round. Where Sinchenko hit Kell Brook on the top of the head. And he did like this little, you know, like crazy dance, you know. He did this little crazy dance. In fact, I'm going to try to show it to you, but I really think it's going to lag if I show it to you. I really think it's going to lag. So I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that. But Kell Brook is good, man. But you know, 160. I don't know. I feel that if he wins. If it's a big unification fight with either a Danny Garcia or maybe, you know, a Keith Thurman or Manny Pacquiao or Jesse Vargas, I'm not saying it's going to be Pacquiao. Process what you hear, because somebody will probably comment and say, oh, he's not going to fight. Process what you hear. What I'm saying is, if it's a big money unification fight outside of Errol Spence, I feel he would get himself back down to 147. But if it's Errol Spence, you know, he'll probably fight at one. He'll probably say, you know what, I'm going to 154. You know. Because I really feel at this point in time in Kell Brook's career, he's a 154-pound fighter, getting himself down to 147 147 pounds. Because, I mean, look, you just don't go around walking around at damn near 180 pounds and, you know, not have issues making 147 pounds. You're going to have some issues. You know, but it's just that people just don't want to believe, you know, because of whatever reasons. You know, they don't want to believe that he may be a naturally bigger fighter, naturally, than Golovkin, a guy. But, you know, it's not saying that he has the skills of a 160-pound fighter. For example, you can have a 200-pound fighter, you know, cut to 147. You know, doesn't mean he'll be stronger than a natural 147-pounder. You know, you get me? You get me? How do I feel about Lar versus GGG? Until Lar's team, until his team, because fuck what, listen, y'all motherfuckers be getting mind. I was going to say the R word, but it's offensive. Y'all be getting mind fucked. You know, until Lar's team and until Thank You Al Heyman wants to fight, then Lar's just all talk. He can talk all that shit in the media. Why? It's because fans who don't research and educate themselves, he know. Like, I can tell him anything, he gonna listen to. You know? His manager said, you know, we're gonna look at Tony Harrison, you know, then we'll move to 160 and look at guys like Danny Jacobs and Peter Quillen. Then we'll fight. Then we'll look at Golovkin. So don't listen. He's not ducking. And also, why does Golovkin team have to say, yo, we want Lara, a guy who doesn't bring in money? Y'all motherfuckers be getting, y'all motherfuckers be getting mind fucked, man. Just listening to any old thing. People just tell you any old thing and you just listen to it. And like I say in my videos, I say, listen, everything I talk about, go research that shit yourself, you know? Go research that shit yourself. I'm not a guy who's going to call you names and all that if we don't agree. It's just that, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. Is Wilder in top 5 pound for pound? How? No, that's a ridiculous question. That's a ridiculous. Not top Wilder top 5. We're talking pound for pound. Best fighters in boxing. Is that a real question? Is that a real question? Top 5 all boxers fighting right now. Right now. Top pound for pound heavyweights. Just heavyweights. You know, so it's a ridiculous question. I'll be right back. I'm gonna finish eating some more of my salad, and I'm gonna try to plug in my Ethernet cable because I want to play a few clips. I'm gonna play a few clips. I'll be right back. Read the description box. We're talking about everything in order. Scroll down. Read the goddamn description box. We're talking about things in order. Stop asking about Mayweather right now. Stop asking about it. Carlos Molina. No, not that Molina.
All day dangerous. Wanna kill me, better aim it up. Most these rap niggas hating us. Feel like I got 6 people living inside my cranium. Help me, I see their people. I'm talking in Benjamins. 6 cents just ain't enough. I need a bad bitch about $1 billion. Tell me I've been a monster man. That boss man, my sonogram. For the solid and them no fame. That real shit. No hologram. When you fuck shit, you get hit with X-gram. Buck shots to the nigga on bands. Some up down. Some nigga red came in this game. Talking shit. Acid time. Ashy bricks. Coding. Sip weed in my lungs. Easy flip. Got the right plug. All these drugs got the right one. All these people got the right one. The situation is the right one. It's going to do.
Sorry, him will get in the middle. Take the speed and bring him up the team. Waiting for the back. Gotta pick the whole team. I'm on my back. And I'm the best man. Little shots. Yeah, but the shots. Got a 9mm right there for protection. Your niggas off, no question. Not niggas announcing the wrestling. Man, it's the bullshit. They scared of us and they took the right to no people. Box somewhere low enough to my cover bus. And I'm out for us to someone on the bus. Shout out to my niggas on the road with the wall. Trying to make them a little more than they get a fuck. Who put them trust in a hook anyway? Who took mistakes? We shit every day. They suck drink. We follow in. For the cop job to the Halloween. These boys ain't really got power, man. My pack funky that power, man. My power wall, grandfather 6. Power wall, my career lid. Flipping my verses, my baby, the circles. We should be sorry.
This is how I operate. No MD, just them see, they contemplating it's architecture. Been all semester, they go to mess. These shorty red mind state of all man. All of my niggas are shoot up they aim. Go to the description, you're missing the missing. This isn't the original man. My isn't the switch, we live in the system when niggas the principle pushing it down. Shooting the kill, running them down. Who can distinguish what is in the ground? Smoking is over my arm and recall. Carry that shit like I'm holding it out. A nigga talking back with any smoking Dutch on the certain stuff for falling on the budget. You woman, I'm a woman, the criminal mimic. You never go take it, deliver to limit, deliver to spirit, deliver to image. Please just follow the side. Don't be surprised when the silence is seen. The six shooters, as soon as you fetch a money machine, motherfucker.
They gotta run that back. I had to go to the bathroom. I haven't ate yet. So give me a minute.
Been inside my cranium, tell me I see dead people. I'm talking in Benjamins, 6 inches just in and up. I need a bad bitch, about $1 billion. Tell me I've been a monster man, that boss man, my sonogram to the hologram and them no fans, that real shit, no hologram and them fuck shit. You get hit with Instagram, buck shot to the nigga on band, some up down, some nigga red came in this game, talking shit, that's it time, ashy bricks, loading zip in my lungs, easy flip, got the right plug, all these drugs got the right one, all these people got the right plug, the situation is the right one, what's gonna do, that all right.
Sunday, him will get in the middle, hit the feet and bring them up the team, waiting for the back, and I put the whole team, pop on my back, and I'm the best man, little shots, yeah, but the shots, yeah, got a 9mm weapon for protection, your legs up, no question, my fingers are down to the wrestling, man, it's the bullshit, they scared of us, and they took the right to no people, box, somewhere loaded up to my trucker bus, and over that for us, just how we never bust, shout out to my niggas on the road with the horse, trying to make them a little more, the nigga get a fuck, who put the drugs, and a hook, and wait, who took mistakes, we shit every day, they suck the drink, we follow in, for the cop job, turn the Halloween, these boys ain't ready to collar man, my pack funky, that power man, my power wall, real power CX, power wall, my clear lid, flipping my person, my thinking in circles, we bitches be circling,
this is how I operate. No MD, just them see, they contemplating it's architecture. Been all semester, they go to mess. These shorty red mind state of all man. All of my niggas are shoot up they aim. Go to the description, you're missing the missing. This isn't the original man. My isn't the switch, we live in the system when niggas the principle pushing it down. Shooting the kill, running them down. Who can distinguish what is in the ground? Smoking is over my arm and recall. Carry that shit like I'm holding it out. A nigga talking back with any smoking Dutch on the certain stuff for falling on the budget. You woman, I'm a woman, the criminal mimic. You never go take it, deliver to limit, deliver to spirit, deliver to image. Please just follow the side. Don't be surprised when the silence is seen. With 6 shooters, as soon as you fetch a money machine.
remix, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, this the on the board, remix, remix.
I'm still eating. You gotta wait. Still eating.
I'm riding by the west side, right side of my demon 760. I try to let out 60 shots, and then we got to see that how you poppin' like it's supposed to be. Open out for charge, ain't got no business standing close to me. So cold up for roast G. Niggas ain't joking me. Mind your fucking thing and watch your mouth when you approaching me. I bump a hole, feel it out of socially. I like them all up them though. Cold hard emotionally. Walk the world ocean up. Ride in the ghost and get slapping with a lot of spit till you swallow all the bitch. Calling shot, running shit, on some big money shit. Cheer about my hustle, all these cowards on that funny shit. Rapping about a bunch of shit, you ain't even done it yet. You the one they running at, I'm supposed to honor that. You all talk dog, flow, and I ain't having none of that. I'm big boss, dog, floss all day, running back.
It's going down. Yeah, we kill it with my motherfucking girl. You a boss, you don't care where it goes. You just buy that motherfucker and you throw the shit on. I'm from them tags, we just throwing them bags. And when we hit the fucking block, we keep dropping the bags.
We come started with a dollar, turn it to an M. Used to ride in power, turn it to a biz. Niggas used to hate me, turn it to my friends. You should see how people treat you when that money coming in. Bad bitches calling cause I'm calling me. Saying no, it's cause they starving and I'm talking. Asking bodies where they walking. These niggas say the calling names, bodies really talking. When the people get it out, get on the clouds. Really, Nino and Al Pacino. I ain't racks when it's really like a casino. Niggas really keep fraud. I'm a cheap casino. I'm shooting dead in Miami. I can't hurry no round side.
Heard a couple teachers on them like a setback. Everybody praying for me, I respect that. Woke up in the hospital where my check's at. And I put 8 chains for my neck set. Hopping in the ghost, I feel like that's that. Worked 40 years, so respect that. I put all my jewels on just to go your chick. You know the boss well, no believe the bonuses. We making money, getting married. We the work clean, cut it like it's carry cake. These boys love the way I narrate. I still whip it like it's anime. Remember mama had a cavalier. Now she living like a Cleveland Cavalier. Check the stats, we filling arenas. And I got the cats, killing arenas. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. I got a car. We in this bitch. It's going down. Yeah, we did it with my motherfucking crack. You're a boss. 7 5 7 showers on it. Straight up house, 13 hours on it. 757 showers on it. We say about 13 hours on it.
Body on a skateboard, trying to learn a new trick. I just fucked the avatar. Now I got a blue dick. Money talks bullshit. Once if the shoot dick, pushing up babies. Daffodils, super up in my zone. I'm Andy Stone. I put the picture.
All right. I'm sorry. I gotta take breaks during these Google Hangouts. I'm sorry because please understand that when I do these Google Hangouts, normally what happens is I'm covering the fight, right? I'm watching the fight. I gotta upload clips to the fight. I gotta be active on social media. Then gotta do my post-fight video, like right at the end of the fight, like before they read the cards and all that shit. Then I get like a half an hour to chill. Even not even that. I'm waiting for the video to upload, putting the tag, sharing around shit, then get ready for Google Hangout. So I'm sorry. When I do these streams, you know, I'm sorry. I gotta eat, bro. You know, I gotta eat. So we're back. We've talked about many subjects for the people who are here live. The people who are not watching it live are probably going to be pissed off by the music and the breaks, but it's not for you. So this is the time in the video, since we're at the halfway point of the show, where I'm going to do my PSA, my public service announcement. Launching a website. And I've learned that it is a very expensive project. And it's a time-consuming project. So it takes, you know, it's like this. You'll have a movie, right? They'll make a movie, and they'll say the budget is 20 million, 50 million. So, and before the movie's said and done, even before they even shoot the final scenes, the budget is already at 100 million. You know, it's already 50 million over budget. You know, that's the type of shit I'm dealing with. I'm not talking about the money, but just the fact that it's just, this shit is just, you know, like just getting bigger and bigger, but that's a good thing. So, you know, I'm not trying to rush. You know, I'm not trying to just put out an unfinished product. I'm trying to put out something that that you're going to be like, oh shit, he wasn't fucking around. You know? So in the meantime, I'm going to be consistently pumping out videos. I have built my life for quite some time now to be able to do this for a living. And I think it's pretty evident now that I really don't need this to live because of I really wasn't doing videos for like a year. It was literally like almost a year, technically a year, where I just wasn't doing, you know, videos consistently. But now, you know, we're back in the swing of things. I did 24 videos in a 7-day span, 25 including this one. 1 8-hour stream, a 2-hour stream, an 1.5 hour stream, and however this stream goes. So I'm looking for help. We want to, unfortunately, I can't talk about like what my plans are on here, because when I used to do this, you know, I used to say, I'm going to do this, do that, do this. Motherfuckers will be watching my video and be like, I'm going to do that. You know? So just know that when I say innovative, I'm not using that term lightly. You know, I got some real good shit going on. So also I am building a panel for Google Hangout, which means that these chats are just not going to be me. You know, we're going to have more people here, but we're not going to start doing that until I'm going to try to have it done before Golovkin versus Brook, because after Golovkin versus Brook, which is going to be a midday card, globally, but in the United States on HBO, you know, tape delayed. I'm gonna do a live stream after the live version of it. So it's gonna be earlier in the day. It's gonna be earlier in the day. I don't need Kickstarter. I don't need Kickstarter. I'm not asking for donations. I'm not Kickstarter. I'm not doing no Kickstarter. I'm not doing no Groupon. What's the shit called? GoFundMe. You know, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm not gonna fucking charge for my website or charge for my videos and that old dumb shit. I'm good. So if you want to help out, you know, if you're in Thailand, you know, if you're in Bangladesh, if you're in Scandinavia, if you're a part of the Misi tribe or the Mesa tribe, I forgot what they call it. What's Ruslan Provodnikov's tribe called? If it's some fights anywhere where you at, email me at editor. That's EDITOR at fightview360.com, and we're going to talk. Yeah, hey, listen. Even if you're in Peru, you know, no clickbait. I'm not doing no full fight. In fact, I'm thinking about very, very soon, most likely after the website's launched, I'm not even going to use thumbnails. I'm very heavily considering that. I'm not going to use thumbnails, because sometimes I've learned that if I do a video with no thumbnail, it may go higher than the video than with a thumbnail because it sticks out because everybody's using thumbnails. But that's just my shit, you know. So we got some things we got some things planned. We got some things planned. So what is the next topic on our list? Let's get back to boxing. Let's get back to boxing. Also, one final thing. I am going to be on other websites. As far as my videos will in the future will not just be on YouTube. Will not just be on YouTube. I'm going for, if you ever seen Ariel Hawani's the MMA Hour, I'm going for that. And within the next definitely 5 to 6 months, I'm going to be doing a show once a week, where midday sometime, like a talk show kind of thing. All right, the next subject on our list is we talked about Golovkin versus Brook, Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Okay, I haven't researched enough before this video. I'll do it tomorrow to do a more in-depth video. What's going on with Manny Pacquiao and HBO pay-per-view. And since I'm going to talk about that, I might as well tie into that video the HBO budget cuts. The HBO budget cuts are just not with boxing. It's all over HBO. Game of Thrones did kill, you know, got 6, 7 cast members in one show, for crying out loud. And this is Game of Thrones. So it's not just boxing. So so if I do that, you know, Pacquiao HBO pay-per-view, you know, and why he may not be on HBO pay-per-view anymore after, then I might as well talk about the HBO budget cuts. But if Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 were to happen, it would be likely on just straight Showtime. You know, likely on straight Showtime. Yes, Carlos, I do miss the 4 episodes of HBO 24/7 too. You know, but you know, it's just the bread is just not there. The bread is just not there, and it's a shame because, you know, I hate to talk to you guys like this, but you cheap motherfuckers that's been streaming and all that shit. You know, y'all been destroying boxing, whether you want to believe it or not. Y'all been destroying boxing. You know, streaming, it takes away, you know, what I've learned, because what I've learned is these media analysts, you know, the ones that are considered to be respected media and all this, they really don't understand or not in touch with the fans like us. You know, they're not in touch with like, yo, these motherfuckers are streaming these fights like a motherfucker, yo. Gotta do something. You know, they're not in touch. You know, these guys are, no disrespect, these are, you know, when it comes to like what's considered the mainstream boxing media, they are people who went to school for journalism. I'm trying to figure out how to put it without saying it disrespectful. They just don't, they're not in touch with the fans. They're not in touch with the real fans, the ones that are watching the fights every weekend. They're not in touch, you know? And they don't understand like this streaming thing. It's in this day and age with the social media and being able on your phone, you could be anywhere, you know, watching these fights. It's not helping, bro. It's not helping. You know, so like I said, you know, in a way, like, you know, the streamers are destroying the sport, and the reason why their budget cuts in a way. And with what I do, you know, like I do now because there's so many doubters, you know, and I shouldn't have to prove anything. I think I proved enough. But just as a courtesy, you know, to show how much I really care for the sport, I post every time I buy a fight or I buy a pay-per-view. I post the shit right on my Instagram, you know, and my bills are high as fuck, man. You know, and me and my pop, we watch boxing. You know, we watch boxing, we watch UFC, you know, and you know, we give back because I feel since I generate revenue off of YouTube covering boxing, then I should give it back to boxing. You know, I give it back to boxing. Now I'm in a situation where I do admit there's certain fights that I have to stream, as I talked about in the past. You know, Australian fights, you know, New Zealand fights. You know, Wednesday or Tuesday afternoon, maybe Monday morning. You know, no, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, or Wednesday morning Russian fights. You know, but it's just, you know, the streaming shit is out of control, man. It's out of control. It's out of control. And people wonder why the pay-per-view prices are really, really going up. Is because they got to compensate for that law stuff, you know. You know, I think the younger generation of boxing fans are forgot about. And what I noticed is a lot of networks, the networks that broadcast boxing, watching it myself, I see like, yo, what target audience are they after? And what I see is that they're not connecting properly. So, for example, here's a perfect example. On my Instagram, or on my social media, I make sure that I post funny shit, and I make sure that I post boxing shit. I try to keep it more boxing than funny shit, but I try to keep it like funny shit and current, up to date, you know, like stuff to be like, oh, okay, you know, like, you know, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. But you know, when I look at the way HBO does their promos for the fights, I think like, okay, I understand what you know, like that they're doing it, you know, the way it's supposed to be done. But it's like, what audience are you targeting? You know, what audience are you targeting? And boxing, if you notice, boxing media has changed so much, where the writers, the well-known writers, you know, that before social media and before the internet really became really big in boxing, they're having a hard time because kids, you know, in this younger generation are not reading anymore. Are not reading anymore. So you have this newer generation of media that's going to be the norm in the future until some other wave of media comes out. You know, so it's you know, I don't want to get all philosophical and shit on you, but you know, look, I see the issues. I feel, you know, that I see the issues that are going on. But yeah, Mayweather versus Pacquiao, in my opinion, is going to happen. It's just a matter of time when it happens. It's too much money to be made in that fight. If Mayweather made 300+ million for the first fight, and the first fight did around 4.7 million pay-per-view buys, 4.7 million, and here we got fighters getting 50,000, 100,000, and you're talking about 4.7 million. If the second pay-per-view does 40% of that, it'll still be one of the top 5 pay-per-views of all time. It'll still be one of the top 5 pay-per-views of all time. So Floyd Mayweather can make 100. Floyd Mayweather can make $100 million fighting Manny Pacquiao in a rematch. And here's the thing. He may feel like, well, I beat him easily. You know, that's an easy $100 million for me. Because there's no other fight where he can make $100 million unless maybe a Conor McGregor. And it's not even a boxing match. That's an exhibition. You know, if he fights Manny Pacquiao, whatever you think, whatever you think you're going to do on that day, you're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're going to say, oh, I'm not watching. Somebody's got to buy the fight. And what you're going to say next is, my friend's going to buy the fight. Or I know such and such is going to go over there. Somebody's got to buy the fight. Because when Floyd Mayweather fights, it's like a holiday. It's like a holiday. You know, it's going to be a fight party somewhere, and you're going to be there watching the fight. What you going to be there mad? Like, I don't want to see this shit again, man. You're going to be thinking to yourself, man, Pacquiao better fight a better fight than he did the first time. You know, he better fight a better fight than, you know, you're going to be watching the fight. Why do you lie to yourselves, man? Why do you do that to yourselves? You know, you do that to yourselves. It's like the people who are saying, you know, no, Golovkin is too big for Kell Brook, man. I don't see that, man. You're gonna be watching that shit. You're gonna be watching that shit. So, you know, y'all motherfuckers, man, you're gonna be watching it, yo. You're gonna be watching it. What are you gonna do? You gonna be home while everybody out? You know, like doing whatever the fuck they do. I don't care if you're Mexican. I don't care if you're Puerto Rican, the Dominican, Cambodian, Russian. You're going to be watching the fight. Because you know why? Because if you're not watching the fight, somebody in your circle is watching the fight. Maybe a few people, and you're going to be like, damn, especially the casuals. You know, you're going to be watching it. You know, like it's not about the fight sometimes. It's about the event. You're going to be watching it, man. Well, then if you're not watching the fight, Elroy, you're going to be by your goddamn self. You're going to be home. We're going to be watching Matlock. Old-ass episodes of Matlock. Huh? Family Matters on TV One. Good times. You're going to be watching, bro. Because everybody going to be watching the fight. And you're going to get no barbecue. You ain't going to get no barbecue. You ain't going to get no barbecue. You don't get no barbecue. You know, yeah, the biggest fight right now, I feel, could be Floyd versus Golovkin. But it's not going to make no $100 billion. It's not. It's not. It's not, man. But Bob Arum and Al Heyman settled their lawsuit. And in that lawsuit was a confidentiality agreement. I've been working for months now trying to get my hands on it. I have become very good at getting my hands on to boxing legal documents. So I've been working to you know, working magic, you know, every day for about at least probably maybe about 10 minutes or so. You know, I just start, you know, I try to get my hands on it. But there was a confidentiality agreement, and it is rumored that in that confidentiality agreement with the Bob Arum and Al Heyman settlement lawsuit. Remember, Bob Arum was suing Al Heyman and was basically trying to do the whole whistleblower thing. And Al Heyman settled. Thank you, Al Heyman. No disrespect, but thank you, Al Heyman. Settled with Bob Arum, which means he didn't want that shit to go to court. So there was a confidentiality agreement, and it is rumored that confidentiality agreement was like, well, listen, Al, you got to deliver us Mayweather again. You know, if we ask for it, you know, if you want us to settle this shit and not take it to court, you gotta give us another chance at Mayweather, bro. So it's all up for interpretation. You know, it may not be true, but you know, that's what's being heard through the grapevine. This is being heard through the grapevine. So, do I feel that it's going to happen? again? Yes, I do. I really feel that it's going to happen again. When will it happen? I feel that the window may be closed next year because Pacquiao will be 38 at the end of this year. Mayweather will be 40 in February, 40. And, you know, I just think that, you know, I just don't think that he can do it. And also with Pacquiao being a senator, you know, I just think there will be too many hurdles. But we never know. You know, I believe behind the scenes, they may have even agreed to the fight already. They may have even agreed to the fight. Remember before, when people didn't think the fight was going to happen, and there was so many signs. Even Dan Rayfield, and I have a bone to pick with Dan Rayfield. I have a bone to pick with him. But, you know, people were saying, you know, the shit wasn't happening. And what I said was, I'll say it again, you know, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'll say it again, is that you get the biggest information on big fights or fights that's going to happen that are from the people that are right there with the boxers, The ones that are right there that when they're on the phone with such and such talking about this, when they're you know, when they're talking to their closest allies about, yeah, we're trying to make this and this and this, you know. And I used to be pissed. I used to be thinking like, and this is the guy I used to go to think that, you know, they used to tell me, you know, shit, you know. I used to think he was the real legit. I used to think he was real legit, man. And they don't be knowing nothing. You be thinking they be knowing something, but they be knowing the same shit that you know, except that they have the numbers to call up people up to get it confirmed or not. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. That they have like the connections to be able to call up, you know, a Bob Bram or such and such to say, hey, you know, is any truth to the rumor that such and such and such and such? Is this going to happen? Then they can go on Twitter and shit and say, just talk to such and such, this fight is happening, you know? But they don't be knowing shit for real. They be knowing shit for real. I never, wait, ex-con, but you got the spin machine making it sound like it's going to be a great fight. I never said Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 is going to be a great fight. Motherfuckers putting words in my mouth. I never said that. I never said that. Talking to 75 people, Marisol, this is actually pretty low. The most I've had on one stream was 900 something. You know, normally I'm trying to get up to, you know, this is low. Like 77 people, that's low. You know, I'm trying to get, you know, if I start doing videos consistently, like a consistent stream, you know, at a good time, then I think I can pull 300. I think I can pull 300, you know, a stream, you know, but that takes some work. Especially you got to realize that in the United States, it's late. It's like real late, you know, so it's hard to have like get people up this late on a Saturday night too. But anyway, so like I said, I do feel like Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 is going to happen. When is it going to happen? You know, will it be May? I don't think so. Mayweather is rumored to be trying to get Showtime to put together Mayweather versus McGregor on New Year's Eve of this year, if I'm correct. And do I believe it's going to happen? People say that Mayweather has just been looking for attention and he's been talking about this fight, but it may not happen. He wouldn't be talking about it if he didn't want it to happen. That means he's trying to gauge interest, you know? That means he's trying to gauge interest. In fact, what we're going to do is I'm going to put on the Showtime interview, and we're going to dissect it. Oh. What fight was that? Hold on, give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Laura versus Margarito. Oh, she's too loud. Yeah, it's Showtime Championship Boxing. We're going to talk about the post-fight, not the post-fight, the interview that Floyd Mayweather had with, was it Steve Farhood or Jim Gray? I hate this, man. There it is. There it is. I hate when my DVR delete my shit. I be pissed. I be pissed. Like running out of space, when you run out of space. So while that's fast forwarding, Floyd Mayweather has said that he's like the P. Diddy of boxing right now. He is in it for the money. He's an entertainer. You know, he wants to make, you know, that entertainment money. And fighting Conor McGregor is an entertainment fight. Was the interview between the main event? I believe it was between the main event and the co-feature, which was I'll find it. I'll find it. But we're going to talk about it. Remember, it had Trout Charlo and Laura Martirosyan. It was a 3-fight card. We had both the Charlos. We have both the Charlos. I don't cherry pick people's comments and questions. If you look at it, it's a lot of shit going on in the chat room, yo. It's a lot of shit going on in the chat room. I can't really keep up with it. I can't really keep up with it sometimes. What I'm doing is I'm getting a. I think we're here now. I think we're here. I think we're here. That Floyd Mayweather interview was on that's the Mayweather promotions card, I believe. That did me dirty, man. Maybe I can find it on YouTube, right? It wasn't ShoBox. That Mayweather interview no, it wasn't ShoBox. I believe it was this card. It was either this, the Gail Butte. It was the Gail Butte, wasn't it? When he did that interview. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just look it up on YouTube to see if it's on there. Floyd Mayweather Showtime interview.
That's pretty big to get, and he's got a big edge in terms of weight overload. So it's been a terrific night of 154 pounds. Give us some more credit.
I was impressed. I thought that he should have went to the body a lot more. But, you know, it's still a learning stage for him, but I think that he's a future world champion. Of course, Eddie Mustafa is one of the best trainers out there. He's working with Eddie Mustafa. He's still learning. He's still working hard in the gym. So, you know, in the future, there should be some good results.
We're getting pretty close to your fight, a couple of weeks away. You've been through so many camps in your career.
Oh, this is that's the old one. I don't have time to try to find it. I remember now it was on the Gail Butte. It was the Gail Butte where he did that interview, I believe it was. And I just don't have the time to go looking for it. So, like I said, I feel Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 is going to happen. There's too much money involved for all parties. Remember that it was the biggest payday for Mayweather. It was the biggest payday for Pacquiao, the biggest payday for Bob Arum, the biggest payday for Al Heyman, the biggest payday for Freddie Roach, the biggest payday for Floyd Sr., the biggest payday for the Water Boys, the biggest payday for, you know, whoever. You know, Leonard Ellaby, it was everybody's biggest payday. So, you know, Michael Kuntz, it's not a fight where, you know, people are not thinking about the money. And if you really think about it, when it comes to, you know, the fans, do you think they really, you know, are looking at like, well, you know, the fans are not going to like the fight. They even though we may make money, we don't like to fight. No, they're thinking about that money for their own pockets. They're thinking about the money for their own pockets. That's what they're thinking about. You know, so you have to factor that in. Will Don King ever be relevant again? You know, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing with Charles Hatley. I don't know what he's doing with Bermane Stiverne. Bermane Stiverne is still dehydrated for some reason. DeGale versus Butte. You know, I don't know. Booty. It said DeGale versus Boottea. Booty. DeGale versus Booty. You know, I mean, Don King is he will always have a bad reputation, like a real bad reputation. So, you know, you have to think that maybe fighters, you know, advisors or parents or whoever is saying, yo, stay away from him right now. You know, that's Don King. Remember what he did to Mike Tyson. He's known, he has a reputation for taking people money. You know, so it all depends on how you look at it. Yeah, it was on the undercard of when DeGale fought, not DeGale and Butte, when DeGale fought Porky Medina. And but the most successful promoter in boxing, yes, he is. But, you know, why is he successful? For doing what? You get me? You know, yeah, Don King is successful, but what is he successful for? You know? He's got a bad reputation, a very bad reputation. Jesse Vargas called Pacquiao a dirty fucking Filipino midget. That's not a that's not a racial slur or anything. You know, call somebody a dirty, you know, midget. It's not like it's not racist or nothing. I hate when they do that, man. Like you know how when they you know how when you know they show the replay of something, they cut out like the pre-fight. I mean the stuff that's going on in the middle of the fights, like between fights. They cut out Floyd Mayweather interview because the original DVR version I had was you know, it was erased. I hate when they do that bullshit. Mayweather versus Conor will never happen. Never say never, man. Never say never. I understand how you may feel, but to say it never will happen, I don't know about that. Here's a crazy story. Lucien Butte was popped for, I'm gonna pull it up. Lucien Butte was popped for steroids. Well, performance enhancing drugs. The drug that he was popped for, none other than Juan Manuel Marquez as its endorser. The strength and conditioning coach of both Juan Manuel Marquez, when he beat Manny Pacquiao, knocked him out, put him to sleep, and Lucien Butte is Guru Science, Mimo Angel Heredia. It's a weird, funny ass situation. Because, you know, steroids or PEDs have surrounded the, has hovered over of Juan Manuel Marquez. And the fact that he, you know, is on the label of this drug that got Lucien Butte busted. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it to you. 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 All right. You probably can't see it, but this is in this area right here, in the upper left corner. You know, you can see a little bit of a fighter. That's none other than Juan Manuel Marquez. That's none other than Juan Manuel Marquez. So we're going to read what this says. From the moment I was told my A sample was positive for ostarine, WADA banned substance, I claimed my innocence, and I was determined to get to the bottom of this. I knew it was either a testing mistake or that the substance got into my system involuntary. All my career, I asked for more testing and boxing, so we have a clean sport. I did extra anti-doping procedures at my expense in my fight with Jean Pascal, and at the promoter's expense in my fight with James DeGale. Never, ever I have tested anything banned by WADA, USADA, VADA. Sadly, I have to report that traces of ostarine were found in a legal supplement as a result of cross-contamination. I'll explain what cross-contamination is. In the restaurant business, you can't use the same spatula, you know, or spoon or fork in the kitchen that you would use for pork and chicken, you know, because if somebody don't eat pork, they don't want that pork residue, you know, on their chicken. You get what I'm saying? So that's basically what cross-contamination is. So from what I'm getting from it is he got a bad batch of this shit and something happened, whatever the case may be. It's just still shady. So let me continue to read. This product was prescribed to me during my training camp for my WBC World Title Challenge versus Battle Jet. I warned my SC strength and conditioning coach, Angel Guru Heredia, that's Angel Heredias, about this contaminated lot number and asked him to take this product off the market and help with the investigation. He is as shocked and upset as I am about the unfortunate result. He identified the manufacturer as Pharmagenic based in San Diego, USA. Now I am relieved that I can move on and face the punishment from Washington, D.C. Commission because I have to take responsibility for whatever I put into my body. But at least I am showing with these findings that I never intended to cheat and gain an unfair advantage. I respected my sport, my opponents, all my career, and nothing will change that ever. I hope my punishment is according with my crime or taking a lab contaminated legal supplement dynamite or diamite, because I can't wait to fight again. Team Butte, you know, whatever the case may be. And it's crazy because Juan Manuel Marquez is on the cover. So how did you not know, or how did your strength and conditioning coach not know, you know, that it may be contaminated? And even if you know, you heard that it may be contaminated and you warned your strength and conditioning coach, and he say, nah, we're gonna try it anyway. Fire that motherfucker. You know, if he say, you know, if you tell him, yo, listen, I'm worried about taking this shit. Yo, this shit, I hear that you know, maybe contaminated. And he say, man, fuck that. Stop bitching. Stop bitching. Take this. Be good. I mean, what are the chances are gonna be in this, man? You just want to stop taking that shit. You know, so in my opinion, he should have fired dude. You know, in my opinion, you know. Should have fired dude, man. I better pour some water. Anyway, I didn't get to read the questions. I'm going to read some of the questions. But yeah, welcome. This is T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. Go down to the description box if you're here right now, and you'll see what things we already talked about in the video. Down the list. We're going down the list. So let me see. What are we talking about next? We talked about Mayweather versus Pacquiao, Errol Spence versus Leonard Bundu, then Garcia versus Berto, and then Pacquiao versus Vargas. Well, since we're on Pacquiao, we might as well talk about Pacquiao versus Vargas. You know, Jesse Vargas is a very good commentator. He was commentating the Margarito versus Alvarez fight for BEIN Sports, and he's very good on a microphone. Also, I like the fact that he's been very actively promoting himself since he's been WBO champion. He's been at literally like almost everything he could be at, you know, especially you know, in the Mexican community. You know, so shout out to him. Does he have a chance to beat Manny Pacquiao? Yes, because if Pacquiao has a short camp, or Pacquiao doesn't take Jesse Vargas seriously, then he could run into, you know, a decision type of information. I mean, situation where Jesse Vargas could win, you know, on the cards because Pacquiao was just not aggressive enough, or the aggressive enough. And Pacquiao himself has said that he's been having some trouble getting, you know, what is called like the hungerness. It's this hungerness. It's hungerness. The hungerness and the E. Remember, it's A-E-I-O-U and Y. Like it's aggressiveness, it's aggressiveness, but then Pacquiao has been known in the past to take it to that extra vowel. You know, the E, the aggressiveness. He lacks it. You know, his punch output, you know, seems to be getting lower each fight. His punch output seems to be getting lower each fight. That water was frozen. It had like ice chips in it. You know how like if you drink like frozen water and you drink it too fast, you know, like an ice shard might fucking cut your throat. Had to be careful. Had to be careful. Jesse Vargas, you know, has a chance to, you know, he could try to outbox Manny Pacquiao, especially if Pacquiao is not, you know, being aggressive enough. You know, Pacquiao has been known lately to, you know, he's turned into a boxer. He's a better boxer than he used to be, but he's not a better fighter than he used to be. You know, because of his aggression. He doesn't have that anymore. It's missing. It's missing. Okay, so we have about 25 minutes left. So we have a few subjects we have to rush through. A few subjects that we have to rush through and get this over with. But will Jesse Vargas beat Pacquiao? You know, Jesse Vargas has what, 10 KOs? His last KO was against Saddam Ali. He pretty much took his soul. And crazy thing is, that KO came when Jesse Vargas was with Mayweather. And a long time ago, not a long time ago, Venice Martirosyan did some crazy shit on his Twitter. Look it up. When Venice Martirosyan did this, he pretty much, I guess, tried to expose Mayweather. He said that Herodiya came to him, offered to work with him, and Martirosyan said on Twitter that, you know, he's all about the clean sport, and he tried to get him to take needles. You know, so basically he said, you know, like, yo, he tried to get me to take steroids. Go look it up. You know, go look it up. Like, I'm sure, like, I believe he deleted it. Maybe he didn't. But I'm sure if you look it up, somebody probably was looking like, oh, shit, why would he say that and screenshot it? But I like Jesse Vargas. You know, I like what he's been trying to do as far as promoting himself. I do remember Cotto saying explosivity or some shit like that. I do believe it. Yeah, the racism in the sport's got to stop. Everything is not racist. Now, I do want black fighters to succeed. I do feel that there's racism in the boxing to an extent. Before just everything to be racist, everybody's racist. Everything is racist. You know, that's just, you know, HBO is just sitting there. You know, what's the fucking what's the fucking villain off of Inspector Gadget with the cat, Mr. Claw, Mr. Claw, the Claw. You know, like ha 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 ha. Like HBO is just like, yes, we will hold back all black fighters at the expense of our own money. Oh man, like everything. Come on, man. Come on. Everything's gotta be racist. Well, everything. You know, they spending their own money to hold fighters back. You know, it's a systematic. You know, they're spending money to hold them back, huh? It's crazy. But, you know, I'm not going to get into it, man. I'm not going to get into it, man. I'm not going to get into it. All right, so we talked about Pacquiao versus Vargas. Well, we didn't go into detail. For those who don't know how I feel about it, I feel that Manny Pacquiao doesn't pick his fights. I feel that Manny Pacquiao is a yes man. They tell Manny Pacquiao who he's going to fight. I wanted Manny Pacquiao to fight Terence Crawford. But Terence Crawford's team said they want to fight at 140 pounds. They're not A side. So it's being said that Pacquiao has ducked Terence Crawford, who's a smaller fighter, but yet, you know, there's a double standard going on because Terence Crawford hasn't fought, you know, at 147 in quite some time, or more so, he's a champion at 140 pounds. We're telling him to come up to fight Pacquiao, but yet we don't want fighters to go up to fight Golovkin or go up to fight Andre Ward or whatever the case, or go up to fight Kovalev and not call them, oh, to fight the bigger fighter, a cherry pick. So, you know, it's a complex situation, but I feel that the powers that be, the representatives of Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao didn't want the fight for both reasons, you know, for both reasons, you know, for both sides' reasons, you know. So I just feel that Manny, if they told him to fight Terence Crawford, he would. He'd be like, okay, Bob, okay, Freddie, okay, Michael. You know, I just want to make enough money to take back to my people in the Philippines. To build the schools and murder the truckers taking over the Philippines. You know, he over there trying to kill everybody. You know, he trying to kill the drug traffickers. And I understand it's a war over there. It's a crazy drug war over there. Trying to kill the he want all the you know, he quoted the Bible. He want all the gays dead. He want them dead. He want the drug dealers dead. Pacquiao a goon, yo. It's probably Boo Boy. It'd be in his ear like, let's kill these motherfuckers. You know, let's kill these motherfuckers. Let's kill them. But yeah, we're here on a late night. We've covered a good amount of boxing so far. We covered a lot of shit, man. We covered a lot of shit. We seen Antonio Margarito get a win and get himself in position to get Canelo Alvarez if the Billy Joe Saunders fight doesn't happen. And he also has a chance to get Miguel Cotto if Miguel Cotto doesn't have a fight. You know, of course, people say Miguel Cotto said he won't give him another payday because he's a cheater. But money talks, and guess what? Bullshit walks, yo. Bullshit walks. Bullshit walks. So there's so many different things. You know, there's so many factors that play into this. So many. But since we're at the last 20 minutes of the video, I guess what I'm going to do is ask you guys, what do you want to talk about? You know, what are we going to talk about? What's in your mind? Tim Lane training Floyd in combat. Tim Lane's really training Floyd in combat. We'll see about that. Okay. We already talked about Maypac 2. Kovalev versus Ward. Kovalev versus Ward is still happening. Rock Nation has a bad reputation among media as being a promotional company that doesn't know what they're doing. Andre Ward didn't show up to a kickoff media event, and no representatives of Rock Nation showed up either. they got word, meaning main events, that Andre Ward wasn't going to show up weeks before. But from my understanding, they basically thought, you know, well, maybe he's saying he won't show up, but maybe he will because he's only in Oakland. He can get on a chopper or a jet, be here within an hour, be here for an hour and be out. You know, this fight needs promotion. This fight needs Andre Ward to sell tickets. You know, they need to sell tickets. You know, they need him to be out here promoting this fight the best he could. People say he fought 2 days before. You know why he got to come to a press conference? I think it was smart. I think it was smart for them to have this as soon after, to strike while the iron is hot. And also, it's not like Alexander Brand beat him up or broke his ribs or anything. You know, you in Oakland. Fly down, you know, like do a few interviews and do a face-off with a Kovalev and then be out. You know, go back to Oakland, get on your couch, you know, and do whatever you want to do. You know? You know, they need his help selling this fight, man. They need his help selling this fight. I am getting a controversial mug. This is actually a mug that says Philadelphia on it, but I'm getting my own mug. I'm getting my own mug. My voice is dry and my throat is dry in the motherfucking pause. See, like people say shit like Pacquiao didn't get 180 million. He may not have. I don't believe he got all that money. I'm sure he owed Bob Arum all them a lot of money. But still, he made life-changing money. You know, he made life-changing money. The same people that say he didn't get that 180 say he should have took the 40 million. You know what happened? Like, you know what would have happened if he would have took that $40 million? You know, that would have been what, a 97 to 3% split. It's crazy. Crazy, or some old shit like that. They say he should have took the 40 million. You know, he should have took the 40 million. It's crazy for people to say that shit, man. Floyd Mayweather would have made $600 million, and he would have made 40 million. Floyd would have made what, like 560 million or some shit like that, over $500 million, and Pacquiao would have made that 40. Tripping. Y'all motherfuckers was tripping. I was tripping. Saying that shit, man. But yeah, I'm going to be getting off in another, what's that, 15 minutes? Yeah, the website will be ready when it's ready. I'm not rushing it, you know. I want it to be right. You know, I'm not just, as I said before, I'm not just launching a website to launch a website, and I expect more people are going to follow suit. More people are going to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to launch a website too. You know, so hey, you know, then you know when you when they start doing that, you know, then I'm going to move on to something else. You know, then move on to something else. Then move on to something else. It's all about innovation. You got to keep changing. You got to keep changing. You got to keep changing. But let's see. We talked about everything we could talk about this week. You know, boxing season is back officially. I guess you might as well say next week. I am looking forward to September because we got those big fights each week. You know, September's gonna be crazy. You know, with Golovkin versus Brook. You know, you got Canelo versus Smith. You know, September is a month that I'm looking forward to. Trust me. Then you gonna have Garcia versus Berto. Whether you like the fight or not, I don't like it, but still, it's happening. It's happening. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go take a piss. I was wondering what was going on. I'm having fucking pee-pee dances and shit. And then we are going to wrap up the video. Oh, do it on my phone. Do it on my phone. It's after 4 a.m. over here. I'm glad I took a nap. But I was working so much this weekend that for the Conor McGregor interview, I was working so much this week. Oh wait. Yeah, I was talking too much. Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor interview.
McGregor, because that sounded like Floyd Mayweather. You said you started that rumor yourself, so that sounded like you're looking for a little attention, no?
Well, it's really not a rumor. The fight may happen. You know, we really don't know as of right now. But do I think the fight will happen? Absolutely.
Really? Are we talking a boxing match or an MMA match?
With the A side, of course, it has to be a boxing match because Conor McGregor won inside that. You know, inside the octagon, he was a stand-up guy. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a tough fight for me. So we don't really know as of right now, but it's been a lot of talk, and hopefully we can make the fight happen.
You've been the best fighters in the world for 20 years, and you think a guy from MMA is gonna give you a tough fight?
He's no pushover. One thing about Conor McGregor, he's no pushover. He fell short in his last bout, but a true champion can always bounce back. So that's a guy that I can't overlook. But you know, no numbers. We haven't picked a venue. We haven't talked about money yet, because that's me.
Talking about 100 million, right?
I'm going to get 100 million.
I got $60 I can contribute right now.
Every time I go out, that's my number. Every time I go out and get inside that square circle, it's 100 million or better. This time I'm here in the straight right here, we can do it.
Mikey just offered that you will fight on the undercard of Mayweather McGregor. What is
that? We talking. We negotiate right now. We talking.
But what do you think about that, Mikey?
I don't even have words.
Who you want? Josie Aldo?
There's a lot of different players out there.
Do we fight another MMA?
You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe. We go boxers versus
John Jones?
You know what we want to do? Of course, John Jones is for the MMA, but we still got to communicate and put some things together, me and him. We love John Jones to be a part of TFT. We study hard, and it's not just about us making money; it's about the talent winning. That's what we believe, and that's why so many promoters hate us and dislike us. We believe in the talent winning when it's all said and done. Bobby Jack is a multi-millionaire. Not to name so many other fighters that's made a ton of money. This guy right here will be back at the top. Somebody said that will make it come back.
So, Matthew, what do you tell all the fans about Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor? Because the whole world is breaking the internet.
Oh man, I gotta say Conor McGregor, he's tough. He's a tough competitor. And most guys that Conor McGregor, every time he go out there and fight, when he kick ass in a stand-up position. So if the fight does happen, which I truly believe is going to be record breaking. I'm truly blessed way beyond belief.
I'm bad. Be right back.
I can't overlook no one. I think in his last fight, the guy was too
Shut the fuck up, Carlos. No shit, it's a whole interview.
I'm pretty sure we'll have a master plan to make that fight happen. It hasn't happened yet. We locked down some dates. Me and my team, me and Al, me and Leonard Ellaby, we locked down some dates in different countries and different cities in the United States. And you already know what my number is. 100 million. That's just a guarantee. That's just a guarantee. We don't talk about my number on the back end. And of course, anybody that I fight, my guarantee is 100 million. And we're talking about the numbers on the back end. Now I know for the Berto fight, I think we made somewhere upwards of $70
$70 million, but that wasn't bad for Berto. I made $70 million for the fight. It wasn't bad. I'm not really worried about that. I believe in making smart investments, but I'm ready to invest right here.
Mikey, did y'all play some
investment?
Did y'all play, Mikey?
I think what we should do today, go to the good bear. Probably. No, these are good guys. I'm the bad guy. These are good guys. But, have dinner, talk, see what we come up with. Hopefully, we come up with a master game plan. And next year, when y'all vote, train like here.
But I'll have to argue that to be able to be in this position where we can get a guy like Mikey Garcia and help Robert to get to even bigger level.
I just don't feel that it's right. When like when a fighter like Jesse Vargas wanted to make a move, I never put him in the chokehold. I said, go out there and try to find what's best for you. I didn't do that. And I feel that we should do that to no fighter. We should, let's be selfish. Let a man go out there and make a great living when he living his family. And that's what I did. When it was time for Floyd Mayweather to walk, I said, you know what? I'm going to write this check. I'll give it to this company and change the way boxing has been handled throughout the years. So that's what I did.
So are you still surprised how much attention you get? You put the littlest thing out and it blows up into this big thing. Are you still surprised how much attention you can get?
Social media is crazy. 3 world champions right here. Let's not get it twisted. But social media is crazy. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I think every time I push that, my social media push the button, I think we touch somewhere upwards of 40 million people. And like I said, I'm blessed.
Last thing, if Triple G fights Canelo, who would?
If I was Canelo's promoter, I wouldn't even fight Triple G. Canelo don't need Triple G. Triple G needs Canelo. And he just looked at different fighters. Sugar Leonard, he jumped in the weight classes and went up. Floyd Mayweather jumped in the classes and went up. So many different champions. Roberto Duran, Peter Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, and the list goes on and on. How many different champions, went from a small weight class and went up, or not even a small weight class, but jump weight classes to show that they're true fighters and that they have heart. Triple G, let me show me he hurt yet. He wants to stay at 160. No, that's what we're not going to do. At first, at one point in time, everybody kept saying, Floyd Mayweather was a coward, he's a chicken. He was scared to fight back out.
Let me pause that. Did you hear how he just fucking sub to me and I will sub back? Don't do that in here, the boss Gomez. Don't do that in here, bro. Don't do that. That's disrespectful. But you see how he just contradicted himself though? Talking about if I was Canelo promoter and his team, I wouldn't fight Golovkin. But then he says, all great champions, move up. What the fuck is he talking about?
Once again, I told you I'm not just a fighter, I'm a businessman. And at one particular time in the fight, I was going to make somewhere upwards of a guaranteed probably 60 to 70 million. Probably 60 million. Then I could have made 100 million total. I didn't rush, I took my time. It's about having patience, but I took my time and had patience. I made 300 million. I can't say what he made. I think it was real, bro. If Pacquiao was my fight, he would have been a lot more.
When you fought Canelo, you made him hit the ropes. You had time to leave that. Look what a devastating country is. You just off this weekend.
Well, I'm not here to talk negative about anything. Canelo is a hell of a champion. He's a good champion. He busts his ass, go out there, he know what he has to do. When we face each other, I have more experience and I was a better man. And I was a better counterpuncher, a better boxer. It's all around the board. But Canelo was making a lot of noise in the sport of boxing. But that's a lot of champions that's making a lot of noise in the sport of boxing. But all I got to say is this. I think the rest of the companies is about Mayweather promotion. You have to give fights opportunities.
Javante Davis right there. What's next with Javante?
I don't want to just talk about one of my fights. We have a lot of different fighters that I fighters, but we don't want to say, okay, we put you in a fight and you made a lot of money. What we want to do is make sure we can help you take that money so you can have something when your career is over, like myself. With or without the McGregor fight, I still retired with hundreds of millions. And when I was in the fight game, I think I made somewhere upwards of $800 million.
No, you didn't. Six on it. That's a lot of money.
And as far as in real estate, I made smart investments. I think I got somewhere upwards of $1.2 billion in real estate as of right now. But just smart investments. Like I said, I'm just super blessed. And I'm thankful for all the people that went out and bought pay-per-view all those years.
What about the TNT gear? That's selling great.
I think right now with the money team and movement, we're making $10 to $20 million a year. And that's just all online.
So Robert, you had a good time tonight? Mikey? You know, Robert and Floyd were champions at the same time. Of course they were. They never fought. You're right. You never fought Robert. He never fought you.
Robert was a tough motherfucker. I was talking about this shit. And Robert shooting the shit out of him. I got one Spence now. That's right. Now we look at that motherfucker job. I mean, you gotta realize the motherfucker, me, I gotta, the Mexicans die hard. They'll go all straight. Me, so I gotta be, I watch so many tough Mexicans, and I know, hey, it's kill with them. I take my defense up. Ever since I was young, it was pushing me to the limit.
How big of a start can Mikey be for?
Household, we're gonna make him a household name. That's what it's about. If we can't, we're gonna try our best. But he got the talent, and he got that look. He's got that charisma. He got that young look. He's a quiet assassin. You don't say much in his hands when you're talking. I'm the promoter. That's my job to go out there and say, hey, you know what? This is what you gonna do. I don't say much. He just put that hat on, go out there.
Can you pound for pound?
You know what? I wonder. Is he fought on an Al Heyman card, but I wonder who, who he's signed to. He's not officially, or it hasn't been announced that he's signed with anyone yet, meaning Mikey Garcia. But it's good to see him fighting, and I wonder why they're keeping it so much of a secret. Many were, speculating that he would have signed with Mayweather Promotions. But if he would have signed with Mayweather Promotions, we would have, seen, something. Floyd Mayweather, when he signs fighters, especially big name fighters, he, takes a picture with them, showing the contract or showing them signing the contract. So I believe that he signed with Heyman, but Heyman is not, allowed Mikey to talk about it for whatever reasons. Maybe it's involving, lawsuits, even though he was with Top Rank and that most of it settled. Maybe he doesn't want to be seen to be signing fighters. For example, if you noticed, you haven't heard about Heyman signing any fighters. Maybe he's signing them, but it's not being announced that he's signing these fighters for whatever reason. But I believe that he is with Al Heyman because he wouldn't be fighting on Al Heyman cards. Also, people say that he may be signing with, or may sign with Ringstar, which is Richard Schaefer's, the name of Richard Schaefer's new promotional company. Yeah, nobody puts in work like Eli Sekbak. Eli Sekbak is a legend. His interviews are legendary, even though he will piss you off because a lot of times you can tell he's just trying to start shit. But one thing I can say is, it's not a bad thing. But if I had that many subscribers and that much reach, I wouldn't be out there in the field. Not like that. Not like that. I'll be out in the field, but I make sure I'm not the one out there. I'll be supervising shit. I wouldn't be, out there with the camera. Plus, he'd be asking some dumbass questions sometimes. But, to each his own. He's got some legendary content, and he works hard. You can't take it away from him. You can't take it away from him. Anyway, so we've talked about everything. I'll take a few more questions, just a few more, and then I'm really wrapping this up. I'm trying to get back onto a somewhat normal sleeping schedule. Somewhat normal. And we're going to go from there. Yeah, I can imagine Robert Garcia is a cool dude. He seems like a cool dude. I haven't met him. I came close to meeting him, but I haven't. It's Ricky Burns TBE. Fuck me. I don't even know I've read that. I don't even know I've read that. Yeah, I don't know why motherfuckers are so mad tonight. Why is there so much negativity in here? What do you got? What's going on with you guys, yo? What's going on with you guys? Does Khan beat Brook? That chin, man. You know, Amir Khan's chin is the biggest issue. Amir Khan has great boxing skills, but we don't know, you know, about those delicate whiskers. Those whiskers are delicate. You know, the wind blow, he goes down. That's the issue. And then Amir Khan just don't get knocked out. You know, when he gets knocked out, he get knocked the fuck out. Yeah, I've been watching the Olympics, the boxing Olympics. Probably not enough, but I've watched. We're on day 8. I've watched 4 out of 8 days. 4 out of 8 days. And Amir Khan is only trying to do the MMA because he's trying to take Floyd Mayweather's shine. That's what he's trying to do. Amir Khan doesn't like, I said it before, Amir Khan doesn't like when you talk about his enemy's balls, how big his enemy's balls are. So the fact that that Khan fought Canelo, Kell Brook was like, all right, I'm gonna fight Golovkin. That pissed Khan off, and Khan said, you know, Khan didn't like, you know, that people were talking about how big Kell Brook's balls were. You know, because he was supposed to have the big balls because he fought Canelo, so he didn't think that Kell Brook would fight, you know, Golovkin, and you know they're bitter enemies. So now that he fought Golovkin, Khan is like, I got to get even bigger balls, and I got to step into the octagon, you know. And then Kell Brook is probably going to move to 175 and fight Kovalev if Kovalev beats Andre Ward. And then what Khan is going to do? Khan is going to go up to heavyweight, and he's going to try to fight Deontay Wilder. You know, it won't never end. It won't end. It won't end. You know, they want to see whose balls are big. It won't end. It won't end. It won't end. But I don't know. I don't think Amir Khan beats Kell Brook. I don't believe he will be able to take one of those shots. Kell Brook is huge, man. One of those clean, you know, rights to the you know, to the chin, you know. And you know, Kell Brook be fucking those chocolate brownies up. That's probably why, you know, y'all, those chocolate brownies. I think it's really some type of sexual like innuendo to me, but you know, I try to stay away from it. I don't want to know the lore. I don't want to know the lore of chocolate brownies. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. Damn side piece. Anyway, Brook does have the timing, you know. Errol Spence is in a tough situation because Kell Brook doesn't have to fight him. Even if Kell Brook loses to Golovkin, he'll still be #1 contender for the IBF. You know, but Kell Brook doesn't have to fight him. He can try to go after that unification, you know. Eddie Hearn knows what he's doing. And maybe it's a shame, but Errol Spence may not get a title shot for a while. Maybe not even another year. If the rules are manipulated, right? But I'm going to be back next week. If you look on the channel, you'll see I have my whole fall schedule of Google Hangouts already up, and that's not including the random Google Hangouts like this I may do. So basically, for every major fight, I have a Google Hangout schedule. Google Hangout scheduled, and we're going to be back. So I'm going to end it right here and say T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I got another 3 hours of work to do before I can go to sleep. So for those who are going to still be on the channel and, you know, on my social media, I'll see you guys later. Please subscribe.